to the latest in our series looking at the local government reorganisation decisions that have been made, what this means in those areas that are affected, and then we'll be taking a look forward into the looking glass and seeing what we can predict for those areas that are not in the devolution priority programme, but are still going to be affected by local government reorganisation. That'll be getting their decisions sometime in the sort of the late summer period. Today we are looking at Suffolk. We've already looked at Essex and Norfolk, so we've been all the way around Suffolk, and today we go into Suffolk. So let's take a look. Very complicated map for Suffolk, despite it actually being a relatively easy set of decisions which have been made. So the Secretary of State has confirmed the creation of 3 unitaries. The other option basically that was on the table was a 1 unitary option, which we've seen across the board. Those 1 unitary, mega unitary offers, normally from the county council, have pretty much been rejected out of hand. So we're going to have 3 new councils. They are not the worst names that we have seen, which we know there's been some bad ones. We've got Central and Eastern Suffolk. That's this sort of like browny grey part on the top right. We have got Western Suffolk here in the sort of mauve, and then we have Ipswich and South Suffolk Council down here in sort of the yellowy whitey part down here at the bottom. Essentially a greater Ipswich council. It has actually been noted in this that the names are all subject to finalisation in the legislation. Not convinced there'll be as many changes here as I'm expecting elsewhere. Keeping those historic importance names like Ipswich in here seems important. Maybe we'll sort of see something around that sort of coastal part to reflect the importance of the coastline in that area, but as I say, it also includes quite a lot of central Suffolk. So all the existing county and district councils, as we know, they'll be abolished on vesting day. We've got sort of 11 months now through to when those shadow authorities will be set up. There'll be then shadow elections next May, and then we'll have the vesting day 1st of April in 2028. So again, when we look at the rationale here, we can see that when those decisions have been made, the government seems to be looking at those current population masses, where people live, where people commute from, where people's sort of sense of community is, and then given those larger towns, in this case Ipswich, that space to expand. So we know how important house building is within the government, within what they're looking to do. It really does seem to be a really important part when they're looking at these large towns and cities and they're going, hey, where could expand? It seems to be that LGR may well be a means to an end with that. So again, rejecting that large authority, rejecting some of the existing boundaries being priority as well. But they've decided that this version, the three versions, the 3 authority version, seems to be the best option. And I think most people sort of looking at this pragmatically probably thought this was going to be the route forward as well. However, I think when we're looking at what those next steps are and what this is going to mean for those that are involved, we know that PMOs, risk officers, etc., are getting going with this immediately. You've got to. There's not actually very much time to now make this happen. We have got district and borough councils merging together. We have got county council services splitting up. Things need to start moving pretty quickly. But I think that judicial review here seems absolutely inevitable. So the incumbent county council, we've got elections about a month from when I'm recording this video, have said that they are going to appeal. They were in favour of the one authority. They still think that's the best option. We have got those local elections coming up. The polling around that looks like it could well end up being a reform council, and they are also backing the single authority. And they have both those sides. It's not often that we see them agreeing publicly on things. They're both saying that this 3 unitary model is totally unworkable. However, districts mainly welcome those plans, especially around that sort of keeping decision making closer to people, and I think that's really, really important. And again, I think it's going to be a key thread that we see through all those LGR decisions. It's also been welcomed by most of the local MPs, certainly not by all, but by most of them. So in terms of those next steps, we know that those planning teams, those program teams, the project officers, the risk managers, etc., are all going to be there now on the ground, actually starting to get some of this stuff mapped out, starting to get some of this, how it's going to work, how we're going to merge, how we're going to split now, all needs to be worked out. Massive task with lots of different systems that ultimately have now got to come together and probably be replaced by a single system, either for the county as a whole that can then split into 3, or in each of those separate parts that that then for now also needs to be reporting everywhere. So lots of difficulties there, trying to get all those different systems talking to each other, and all those different people and different ways of working together. Lots of things there that need to be decided. And on top of that threat, that actually what we see now, it's going to be challenged. It's going to go almost certainly to the High Court, and maybe even beyond the High Court as well, which is going to put even more pressure in terms of that time. So right now, those things need to be done. So as those processes, so as those systems and working practices are in place. So whatever that decision ends up being, however long it is until that final decision is known, that there's not any impact on services. We know that one of the key points that's been said by government all the way through this process is that on vesting day, on day 1, everywhere needs to be safe and legal. And obviously the only way to do that is to make sure that those structures are put and in place. If you'd like to know more about local government reorganisation, if you found this video interesting, you'd like to know more, please feel free to reach out to us here at ICO Services. You can also like and subscribe. Please make sure you like the video, put your comments down on the video as well. We'd love to hear from you, and we will respond. And also subscribe so that you can see more of this content. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.